Hi, I'm Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation, and today I'm here with a very special, one-of-a-kind Bourgeois parlor guitar. This guitar is considered a masterpiece guitar, and as such, it was really designed and conceived and executed by Bourgeois master builder James Witkus. And James has been working right alongside Dana Bourgeois for about the last 15 years and really sort of apprenticed his way to now be considered a master luthier at the company. And Dana Bourgeois told me he had the idea of, at this point, really asking James to build a couple of masterpieces in the same way that, for example, in the European apprenticeship tradition, someone would have to create a masterpiece before they were considered having completed their apprenticeship. And this is one of the guitars that James has come up with. The other guitar, which is sort of a counterpart to this one, is a much more modern design instrument, and we hope to get a chance to check that out in the near future as well. But this instrument is really kind of a 19th century style parlor guitar built the Bourgeois way. It introduces a new body shape. Bourgeois hasn't really had a parlor shape like this in the lineup, but they've had the piccolo parlor, which is even a little smaller and has kind of a Ditson kind of an outline. So this is a new shape for Bourgeois guitars, and Dana tells me that it's not unlikely that some standard line guitars may become available with this body. But as you can tell, the new body is really only a small part of the story of this instrument. There are lots of design elements. Of course, the inlay is quite spectacular on there. I should mention that this guitar is built with gorgeous Brazilian rosewood and for the back and sides, and really kind of not just Brazilian rosewood, but the kind of Brazilian rosewood that you might have seen on a 19th century parlor guitar. If you've seen vintage examples of those types of guitars, this wood may look quite familiar. The top of the guitar is a H-tone Adirondack spruce top. You can tell the color is a little bit darkened from the heat treatment that Bourgeois applies to its H-tone woods. The bridge is made from English holly, and this is the second guitar like this that I've had a chance to check out from Bourgeois that used English holly really as a way to substitute ivory, which would have been used on some vintage guitars. We can't use and don't want to use ivory anymore. So this English holly is kind of a wonderful substitute for using that. It looks a lot like it, very white in color, and apparently dense and hard enough to be used for a bridge. The guitar uses Bourgeois' short scale, which is a 25-inch scale. Of course, we have a slotted peghead, Waverly tuners. The English holly is also used for the binding on both the fingerboard and the body. We have style 42 top purfling, style 42 rosette, and that is really where the sort of traditional appointments end on this guitar. For the fingerboard inlay, James went with kind of a theme of the state of Maine, which is of course where Bourgeois is located, and sort of has a stylized pine tree inlaid in a material that's some kind of reconstituted jade. And it's a beautiful inlay, and I kind of like this idea of kind of having the tree of life that might have been found on some fancy original 19th century guitars, but in a completely re-envisioned way. We still have a tree kind of a design, but it is nothing like what you would have found on an older guitar. The design is sort of mirrored in this small tortoise-style pickguard that is under the strings here, and this is a similar design to what you, again, might have found on some 19th century guitars. I've seen this on some old Martins. I've seen this on some Orville Gibson guitars, maybe some Washburns. So very cool to see this in here instead of a traditional pickguard. Again, with the pine tree type inlay design right here in the pickguard. The bridge pins on the guitar are antique walrus tusk with green dots to match the inlay on the guitar. And of course, we also see the design continued into the peghead. The Bourgeois logo is found on the back of the peghead. And overall, I think the guitar does a beautiful job of taking this 19th century parlor guitar and taking some of the elements that you might have found in a very fancy one of those, maybe a style 42, 45, but in a re-envisioned way. And it's really quite beautiful. And if I were looking at James Witkus's master project, I would say he passed the test. It's a gorgeous guitar, and it also sounds great. And that is, of course, the ultimate test. And all Bourgeois guitars are wonderful sounding guitars. Naturally, this is constructed the way a typical Bourgeois guitar is constructed, with Dana's innovative bolt-on neck joint. And the neck shape is quite similar to other sort of 12-fret Bourgeois that I've played. And the guitar has the balanced voice that we have come to know and love with Bourgeois guitars. So that is the Bourgeois Concert Parlor Masterpiece. It's a very special, one-of-a-kind instrument, very exclusive, and big congratulations to both James Witkus for coming up with this idea and executing it as a masterpiece, and of course to Dana Bourgeois for creating the environment where an apprentice can grow to the point of building such an instrument. So a wonderful example of the kind of work that Bourgeois and his crew in Lewiston, Maine is capable of doing. Wonderful guitar, both in terms of its design, its sound, its ideas, its execution. So I feel very privileged for having had a chance to check this out. And I think I'll just play us out a little bit more so you can get a sense of the sound of the guitar. My name is Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation. And if you are seeing this on YouTube, please consider coming over to pegheadnation.com for more of our gear demos and our wide range of courses and lessons for guitars and other fretted and stringed instruments. Again, my name is Teja Gerken.